Hey, it's Chris with Implied Music. I've got another track to write for Dunsinane. Dunsinane, a medieval epic set just after Macbeth, the Scottish king, has been slain by the English invaders. And this time, what we're looking at is the opening of Act Two, a long monologue that needs to be underscored. It needs to have a flavor of summer, but also kind of mud and trudging, and also a Scottish atmosphere. Okay, here we go. I have a template set up in Logic already, as one should. But I know that I want to use a new instrument, one that I haven't touched on yet. So I'm going to have to add to it. I have some wonderful sample libraries from Soniccouture. It's called the Skiddaw Stones. Let's see if I can find it. It's been a while since I've opened it. It's old. So we've got a bunch of different elements here. There's wooden and rubber mallets. I'm going to go with the wooden mallet. Now, what these are, and maybe you can see in the picture there, are stones, igneous, volcanic stones, that have been shaped and tuned. I'm going to use this as my foundation. Now, my world for this piece is kind of D minor, a D Dorian minor. And the British who are featured in this particular section are kind of in a 4/4 world. They're sort of military or martial world. Okay. All right, here we go. Underscore needs to be long, not much has to happen. Not a bad, just basic take. Now, you know, I like to just set something up and then pull stuff out. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go with that for the time being. Let's gently quantize this just so that it sits with other things that we might add later. Well, it's the military, so we need drums. I think that's the next. Ordinarily, I wouldn't put drums on right away, but I know that the drums are important. So I'm using Audio Brewer's Ache for my spot drums. And these are actually Brazilian drums. They include some surdos, these low ones down here. Super fun, right? And we've got lots of possibilities for expression on that. And then medium ones. And these feel kind of like snare drums. That's how I'm using them. And then up here, these tiny little small hand drums, which are useful. So let's lay in what I would just think of as the snare next. And this is essentially slogging along. Well, that was fun, and I'm going to leave that just the way it is later. I'll come in, pull out stuff, see how all that goes. But first, let's just kind of give that the same kind of like gentle quantization that I just did. All right, so now I've got two loud stones. I'm going to dial that back a bit. The drums, and let's put them in their spaces. So these stones, they need a little something, don't they? I think they're beautiful, but man, very bright. got a little delay. Let's give it. I actually think those Stones could use their own delay. Listen, I've got some great delays. Here's my favorite though for this, now that I think about it. This is a very nobody talks about this delay. So the delay engine from AAS's virtual modeling software allows you to send your echo through a physically modeled membrane. And there's some remarkable effects. This is actually the one that I was using previously on another. You can see I'm sending it through I think probably less regeneration. Regeneration and echo and delay, they work very well to give you a sense of watery reality. Let's play around with the rate. Okay, EQ, the right reverbs, the right delays. And now it's time for some bottom drums. Well, I've used a couple of different bottom drums. This taiko is quite nice. It feels very military in a great way. And I think that's the way to go for me here. We'll start with a big hit and then a pullback, and then we'll go into a regular steady beat. I've been using the Resonate kit from Spitfire, which is Evelyn Glennie's unique drum sample library in this show. One of the things she's done is provide strikes on top of other larger resonating bodies. So, for instance, in this case, we've got an oil barrel filled with water. And then maybe like cymbals that are dipped down into the water to create pitch changes. You hear that happening. So let's add punctuations with that. So the men are it's a military world that they're in, and so let's add a little brass in here. This brass multi is from Westwood's Untamed series, and you can hear a lot going on there. So let's add just a simple like brass call at the beginning. And this is very controllable with expression. All right, I'm liking that. And now just a little bit of epic chords underneath. Then it's time for me to go in there and cut stuff out. Let's see how I'm doing on time. I've got 5 minutes left. What we've got here for pads is going to be like choir men, right? Because it's this is Spitfire's originals, and they're sort of like flowing in and out here. Got a couple of episodic combos. One of them's quieter than the other. Yeah, that's what we want right there. I got 1 minute and 35 seconds. My camera shut off because it has its own limits. Listen, I feel like I got a good start on this, although what has to happen next is taking stuff away. And I'm not entirely satisfied with the Skiddaw Stones, that is to say, those weird igneous marimba rocks. Well, we'll see how it all works after I add bass. I don't like to add bass right away. I like to add bass at the end because whenever I put a bass instrument in, I feel like, well, that's done. Hey, listen, I hope this has been useful. Check out the other videos in the Dunsinane series. And of course, just in general, all the stuff that we're doing about music theory, your own composing, what's important to you as a composer. It's a fun practice, isn't it? Like and subscribe, ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos. And I will see you next time.